On this episode of The Wretched Wrench, Chevrolet steals Top Gun's theme song. A man inappropriately touches a Chevy Beretta. And then they go drag racing. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, I've heard it all before, but if it doesn't have quickness, I don't want it.
I do want a car that's well equipped, but I don't want to spend all my money on it.
Most sporty compacts feel like they've been made for someone that's 5'1". That's been my problem.
It's got to have more. It's got to have class.
My time is valuable. I want a car that's quick and easy to take care of.
I want a V6, 5-speed. I want fun.
It's what you want. It's a new species. Beretta. Chevrolet's new sport machine that goes beyond what you expect from a compact coupe. Quad halogen aero lamps, a low sloping hood, distinctive wheel well eyebrow styling, contoured side mirrors, door into roof styling, semi-flush glass, vertical flush door handles, a wind-sculpted rear glass and deck lid flows into a full-width wraparound tail lamp treatment and bumper fascias. The look is distinctively American. Beretta's sporty looks come to life on the road because Beretta is a road machine. Quick, agile, sleek. With a drag coefficient below 0.34, Beretta cuts through the air as easily as Porsche 944. Yet beneath the beauty lies the beast. An optional 2.8-liter V6 with multi-port fuel injection, road muscle for impressive acceleration and passing power. It meshes with a German-designed Getrag 5-speed manual for precise shifts and sporty performance. Or for convenience, an optional automatic transmission, also available for the standard 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with electronic fuel injection. Beretta is a sure-footed species, providing excellent traction over its terrain with all-season steel-belted radial tires and front-wheel drive. And its roadability comes alive with a standard sports suspension that includes a rear stabilizer bar to minimize sway through the corners. Adding to its quick response and agility are standard power steering and power brakes. Distinctive, aggressive, roadworthy. Beretta prowls the streets in style, and its style continues on the inside. There's comfortable seating for 5, more than many sport coupes in its class. Specially styled for Beretta, Luxurious cloth reclining bucket seats feature separate head restraints and special suspension systems to minimize road vibration. And with a trunk capacity of 13.5 cubic feet, Beretta has plenty of room for your carry-alongs. Beretta puts convenience within reach, so you can park portables in 8 available storage areas throughout the cabin. Beretta's flight deck controls track overall operating conditions at a glance. Standard tach and instrument gauges keep you up to the moment on engine functions. A standard trip odometer keeps tabs as the miles roll by. And pod-mounted controls are all within easy reach of the driver. More of Beretta's standard traits that cost extra on other coupes include dual sport mirrors with a left-hand remote feature for added convenience, and tinted glass to reduce glare. A driving environment designed to maximize your comfort, your pleasure. Beretta is one well-equipped species, ready to take on the road. The origin of the species. A vehicle with Beretta's traits doesn't just happen. It requires state-of-the-art manufacturing and assembly to bring it to life. Automation plays a critical role. Computer-controlled robots put spark into Beretta. A laser-guided welding system brings the roof and quarter panel together, the first laser-guided welding in assembly worldwide. Automated vision checking systems use more than 380 cameras to inspect underbodies, body sides, and other key components for dimensional integrity. A laser vision station checks each Beretta body at 100 prescribed points to ensure exacting, precise tolerances. Assembly plant technology seems to have a life of its own in Beretta's fully automated modular paint shop, the most modern in the world. Every Beretta body is submerged in zinc-rich Uniprime. Submersion ensures every body niche, every crevice is coated with this corrosion-inhibiting armor. All bodies then enter climate-controlled booths where computer-controlled robots apply a high solids enamel base color coat, topped by a protective clear top coat that helps Beretta resist chipping and fading. Unlike many competitors, this top coat is available for all Beretta colors. The result is a vehicle that retains that wet look, keeps a shine to its coat and its value. Beretta GT, a more fierce species. Combine this optional package with available performance handling, and you've got a machine that rules the road. Beretta GT roams a sporty territory with black accents throughout the body, plus 15-inch styled steel wheels and wide tread plus 4 all-season Eagle GTs that grip the road. And an available level 3 suspension, performance tuned for Beretta GT with larger stabilizer bars, specially valved strut shocks and more that help take on life's curves with a firmer grip. GT dresses up on the inside as well, with lateral support, body-hugging bucket seats, and custom sport cloth, a fold-down center armrest for rear seat passengers, and its own sporty steering wheel. Beretta instrumentation pulses to life with an optional electronic instrument cluster that displays engine RPM, coolant temperature, oil pressure, and more in colorful liquid crystal readouts. The integral trip computer also provides instantaneous fuel economy, cruising range, and outside temperature at your command. And you can give your Beretta extra spice with a variety of convenience and luxury options to make it a species all its own. Follow your instincts. Track down the new species in compact sport coupes. Capture a Beretta from Chevrolet.
You know, when most people say the name Reggie Jackson, they think baseball or home runs. And I think that's fair. But if you say Reggie Jackson to my friends or people that really know me well, they're going to say this guy just loves cars. Where to start from? Started from my dad. Where else? My dad used to take me out on the front porch in the summertime, and for the fact that we had nothing else to do around the house, what we tried to do was to name cars, tell what year they were, what make they were, before they got underneath the street light, which was right in front of the house. And you had to be able to recognize a car just by its silhouette, by the tail lights, by the front bumper, by something that would tell you what kind of car it was before it got underneath that telltale light. The guy with the most names of cars, or the most cars for the night, won the game before you went to bed. Thus my love of cars. Thus started my car collection. I've been collecting cars for probably 15, 20 years now. And what's an automobile collection without a 1957 Chevy? Original interior. Painted Honduras maroon. How about to my right here, a 1966 Nova. 327, 350 horse, 4-speed, 12-bolt rear end, right off the showroom floor. That's how you could buy it back then. You know, if you went to high school in 62, 63, or 64 and drove one of these babies, a Stingray, you were called a rich guy. Fuel injected, 327, 360 horse, 4-speed. You know, you could have bought one of those babies for right around $3,900 to $4,000. Not bad, huh? For me, the love of all my cars, the car that's the cat's meow, is my 55 Chevy. I'm a muscle car collector. Those are the cars I really love. And about 40 to 50 of the 75 I own are performance cars. I've tried to have this baby stay a step ahead of the rest of them. And by doing that, what I've done is put a 454 in it with right around 600 horsepower, a 5-speed transmission, a 12-bolt rear end, and in order to stop that baby, it's got 4-wheel disc brakes on it. 30 years ago is when Chevrolet built this car. You know, Chevrolet's been building cars, what I call the heartbeat of America, for right around 75 years. And in this, their 75th year, their anniversary year, they've come up with 2 more winners, the Corsica and the Beretta. You know, I've been pretty fortunate to be around a few winners in my time, and I think the Beretta is destined to be another one. I've also been pretty lucky, because I got a chance to test drive one of the first production models, and man, was I impressed. I like the appointments. I like the fact that everything is right in front of me. I especially like the gauges. The seats fit me, and I'm a big guy. I didn't feel like I was cramped in. I like the way it handled in curves. The steering had sort of a sports car feel. Against the competition, Beretta's got what it takes to be a real winner. And there are a couple of fellows on the IMSA circuit by the name of Tom and Bobby Archer that know what it's about. I think that they know about racing what I know about winning baseball games. They're real champions.
It's been the year of the Archers. With 12 years' experience racing front-wheel drive vehicles, they're no strangers to the performance and handling characteristics of front-drive cars. First place at Lime Rock, Connecticut in a specially modified Cavalier hatchback. First and second place at Watkins Glen, New York, again driving Cavaliers. Tommy and Bobby Archer have set the pace in the Champion Spark Plug Series for front-wheel drive cars on the International Motorsports Association circuit. But the victories haven't stopped there. They've also brought a Corvette home to victory 4 out of 6 times in the Sports Car Club of America's Escort Endurance Championship. These SCCA victories earned the brothers both the driver and team championship, while gaining the Manufacturer's Cup for Chevrolet.
Hi, I'm Tommy Archer, and this is my brother, Bobby.
Guess you could say we drive cars for a living.
That's a good way to put it. In addition to race driving being our profession, we both enjoy driving specialty vehicles away from the track.
Cars we drive today are not quite the Cavaliers we race on the IMSA circuit, or the Corvettes that we race in the SCCA Endurance Championship, but they are fun to drive and very neat street machines.
Many of your buyers choose their vehicles because they're looking for something special and fun to drive. They're looking for cars that provide handling, good looks, and performance. Well, Chevy's provided cars like this for years. And this year, there's a new contender in that arena called the Chevy Beretta GT.
The GT stacks up against cars like the Honda Prelude, Nissan 200SX, Mazda 626 Sport Coupe, and Toyota Celica GT.
Now that's a pretty tough crowd. Probably the most well-known compact sport coupes in America.
But the Chevy Beretta GT handled itself very well in that group. And probably what's most important to your buyers, overall driving fun.
Now, even though we're at Firebird Raceway, we didn't test these cars as race vehicles because they're not. But we did put them through the paces for acceleration, the ability to handle curves, and an overall sporty feeling.
We think you'll be pleased with the results as we show you how well Beretta GT did.
The Beretta GT in these demonstrations is equipped with a standard 2.8-liter V6 multi-port fuel injection engine with 125 horsepower, optional 206/60 R15 Eagle GT tires, and as all cars in these matchups, an automatic transmission. Toyota Celica GT is equipped with a 4-cylinder, 2-liter, 16-valve engine with 115 horsepower and 185/70 R13 tires. How do Toyota's 16 valves perform against 6 cylinders?
The Beretta has outclassed them all in straight line speed. V6 just gives you a lot smoother feeling.
Nissan 200 SX XE is equipped with a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine with 99 horsepower and 195/60 R15 tires. Nissan claims the rear-wheel drive 200 SX puts balanced power to the pavement.
All right, I hope you guys liked it. Till the next time,
The Nissan
thanks for
just doesn't
watching.
have the straight line acceleration that the Beretta has. The sound level is definitely a lot louder as well.
Honda Prelude is equipped with a 4-cylinder, 1.8-liter 12-valve engine with 100 horsepower and 185/70 R13 tires. The 300-pound lighter Prelude should get off the line well, but then what?
The Beretta GT definitely had an advantage over the Honda Prelude. The straight line speed was a big difference.
Mazda 626 is equipped with a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine with 93 horsepower and 185/70 R14 tires. Of all the competitors, 626 is closest in size and weight to Beretta.
The car could not perform in a straight line anywhere near what the Beretta GT did.
The Mazda 626 didn't give me the impression that I was driving a sporty type car.
Finding the Beretta V6 to be the dominant force in straight line acceleration, the Archer brothers then evaluated the cars through a series of S's.
I think that going through the S-turns here at Firebird, it showed that the Beretta GT, the way it's set up, that you could just about drive the car anywhere you wanted. Compared to the other cars, we weren't able to do that. You had to basically drive them at a certain set speed. And the Beretta GT, we were able to go through those turns and basically put the car through harder and harder. We never actually did get to the point where the Beretta GT said, I don't want to turn. Comparing the Beretta GT and the Celica GT through the slalom course, for the Toyota being a much lighter car, the Beretta really held its own against the Toyota going through the slalom here at Firebird. It was amazing to me to be able to see that a lightweight car could not handle the transitions between left and right, as well as the bigger car, the Beretta GT. Comparing the Beretta GT to the Nissan 200 SX, we didn't feel anywhere near as comfortable going through the turns. The car just felt like you got in the middle of the turn and it kind of gave up and wasn't going to do the turn. It was like struggling with a young child or something, trying to make it do something it didn't want to do all day long. Every turn we went through, we had the same problem, and it really doesn't measure up to the standards of the GT. The Honda was a smaller car, so it would go through the slalom okay. But pulling away from the turns, the power of the Beretta GT definitely was able to pull the car out of the turns better than any of the cars we tested.
The Mazda 626 Sport Coupe gave me the feeling you were driving a big old tug, a big family sedan. And in this sporty car market, you just can't do that. The Beretta GT is doing exactly what we were told it would do. It's overall fun to drive. I think that's a key point in the compact sport coupe market.
The Beretta GT had a better controllability through all the turns than most of the cars. And even if you got yourself in trouble, you can turn the wheel and the Eagle GTs will still grip the road and bring you back. And we weren't able to do that with the other cars. You had to be perfect through the turns to make them go. And if you came in with the Beretta and you were a little bit off, you could turn and they would grab the road and bring it back online, but even when you had gone in too far.
The Beretta definitely had a better overall feel from the driver's point of view. Comparing it with the cars, the Beretta is just way out in front. When you get to the finish line, it's apparent the Beretta GT is a very competent entry into the compact sport coupe market. It's a worthy new challenger in a field of respected contenders.
So you can have confidence in what you've got to sell. If a buyer mentions Prelude, Celica GT, 200SX, or any of the other compact sport coupes, you've got a winner you can offer them, the Beretta GT.
We're standing here at the threshold of a great new automotive frontier for Chevrolet, because we're about to enter an exciting market with a totally new Chevrolet passenger car. That market is the sport compact segment, and the car is the Chevrolet Beretta. Here at the National Dealer Convention, I spoke to the dealers about this exciting new product. And now I'm pleased to have the opportunity to share that same sense of excitement with you. You know, for years, the sport compact segment had been populated by Honda Prelude, Nissan 200SX, Mazda 626, and Toyota Celica. Yes, our Camaro and Cavalier Z24 have overlapped into this group, but they weren't really designed to go head-to-head with them. Well, Beretta's been designed to take these cars head-on. Everything about it evolved with your sporty car prospects in mind. Now inside, drivers settle into a flight deck interior that's one of the largest they'll ever have seen in a sport coupe. And under the hood, they'll have one of the strongest engines in the class with the available multi-port V6. Now, the competition's more cramped and underpowered when compared to Beretta. And that's just one reason why we say it's really a new species. Now, Beretta slots neatly between Cavalier Z24 and Camaro in the Chevy lineup. It has its own distinct set of buyers who will be turned on by its aggressive good looks, wide body stance, and especially by the way it feels on the road. Typically, they'll be between 25 and 35 years of age, college educated, and starting up that corporate ladder, probably in entry managerial positions. They're headed for success, and they want the cars they drive to reflect that. Now, while many will be younger married couples, more than half will probably be single, and half will be that all-important woman buyer. But here's a key point. They can't go anywhere else to get a Beretta. They've got to come to you. This new car is an exclusive for Chevrolet, and that's good news for all of us. And when we're up to full speed, we'll have the production capacity to build 250,000 of these cars annually. That's more good news. Now, what are your keys to selling Beretta? Well, leading the list of reasons to buy for this group is surely styling. And it's obvious we're a leader with one of the sleekest, most beautifully proportioned designs on the road. And they want engine responsiveness. And this V6 surely gives them that. And they're after a high-quality vehicle. Well, of course, that's no surprise. Everybody wants that. And you have quite an impressive quality story to tell. From the way it's built at our 2 dedicated assembly plants to the way it shines with that base coat, clear coat paint treatment on every single color. Beretta, it's an image car, plain and simple. It adds to Chevrolet's long, proud heritage of producing fun-to-drive, responsive, sporty cars. So make that valuable first impression with this road machine. And remember, you only get one chance. Use it to conjure up those memories of Chevy's fun-to-drive image. It's the right vehicle to sell your prospects away from those Hondas and the Toyotas and all the rest and over to that proud Chevy bow tie.
Fun to drive. After the mid-'70s, that term seemed to vanish for many American drivers.
That's quite true. The era of sporty cars faded to the era of gasoline crunch.
But the love for these cars never disappeared. And today, fun to drive is back in force, especially with the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet.
And Beretta is the latest example of fun to drive for your buyers. Tom Stout told you how Beretta carries you into a new market, a market that's been run basically by the imports for some time.
Beretta changes all that, and the buyers in this market will give serious consideration to Chevrolet, buyers who may not have considered Chevy in the past. You have keys you must remember when relating to this group of buyers. There are reasons to buy. Now, Tom Stout alluded to some of those keys, such as quality, styling, performance. Well, in the product presentation on this video disc, we saw the processes that lead to quality. Now, here, we'll discuss the other two a little more closely, such as styling, a major key for this group of buyers. They appreciate an aerodynamic shape that turns the wind aside while turning a few heads at the same time. And they appreciate the technical details of how it comes to be. Now, here are a few Beretta touches you can indicate, like a front spoiler that directs air underneath an aerodynamically refined chassis. Quad halogen aero lamps that rake and curve, giving less catch across the front end. Wrap-around bumpers that reduce the gaps along the body for less turbulence. A sweeping hood and raked windshield that directs the wind over a smoothly contoured door-into-roofline design. And by the way, rain channels are recessed inside the door frame, guiding the water away from the passenger compartment. The wind is also pushed past flush vertical mount door handles, a rather unique design touch, across the smooth body side and over the raised deck lid. Now, why is all this important? Well, at speeds up to 55 miles per hour, a car uses up to 65% of its energy pushing the wind aside. The better the wind is managed, the more the engine's power is devoted to overall smooth performance.
Performance is another key. And this second-generation 2.8-liter multi-port V6 gives you the power you need to race your buyer's pulse. Now, here are a few features to note. There are 6 individual fuel injectors, one at each of the engine's intake ports. Now, these injectors have been redesigned to spray a more precise cone-shaped pattern into the ports for more efficient use of fuel. Now, the engine's onboard computer tells the valve when to open and how long to stay open depending upon fuel requirements or different driving conditions. The result is the power needed for a variety of driving situations delivered at the driver's command. Now, the engine also incorporates a new computer-controlled ignition system that eliminates the conventional distributor. Again, computers play the key role, signaling the proper ignition coil when to fire the spark plug, depending upon engine load, speed, temperature, and other operating conditions. Now, during heavy acceleration, when lower-grade unleaded fuel is used, drivers may be used to hearing an irritating knock or pinging sound. Well, this second-generation V6 incorporates an electronic spark control system that quiets the noise by adjusting the spark timing for these conditions. Now, this feature is best explained when you've got your prospect out on a test drive.
If buyers want to have a hand in that V6 performance, they'll like the feel of this 5-speed manual transmission. Developed in conjunction between General Motors and Getrag of West Germany, this world-class design gives smooth, sporty shifting and quieter operation. The key is here, in these ball and roller bearings on the speed gears that reduce friction on downshifts. The bearings help provide for smooth shift feel and positive location of gears as drivers shift through the quadrant. It's a very durable unit, designed with bronze and steel components specifically to handle the high torque output of the V6 engine. Both 4th and 5th gears are overdrive, which allow the engine to operate at reduced RPM for less engine wear. And that means good economy, an important complement to its performance characteristics.
Now, that's just a few sentences from the chapter on Beretta's technology. You can find many more details in your new product album and the Beretta audio cassette.
And don't forget to review the programs on this video disc often. They'll continually refresh your knowledge on the Beretta product values you need to make a difference with your buyers.
And put the term fun to drive back into their vocabularies.